The tension was palpable as the massive alien fleet loomed over Earth's orbit, a dark and threatening presence in the sky. The fleet, made up of countless warships, had arrived with a single purpose: to conquer. Their weapons were powered up, their shields were in place, and their commanders were eager to finish the task they had set out to accomplish. Admiral Silo, the leader of the Galactic Alliance, stood at the helm of the largest ship in the fleet, his eyes fixed on the glowing blue planet below. Earth. He couldn't help but laugh at the thought. This tiny, insignificant planet was nothing more than a blip in the vastness of the galaxy, and yet humanity had somehow managed to survive longer than any of the other species they'd encountered. But today, that survival would come to an end. The Galactic Alliance had made the decision. Earth would be invaded and taken for its resources. Silo turned to his second-in-command, a tall and imposing figure named Kor, who stood silently beside him, awaiting his orders. "Ready the fleet," Silo commanded. His voice was calm, yet there was a glint of excitement in his eyes. "This will be a quick and easy conquest. We'll crush these primitive humans without even breaking a sweat." Kor nodded, and within seconds, the fleet began to move, its enormous ships gliding toward Earth with terrifying speed. The ships were equipped with powerful weapons capable of annihilating entire cities with a single strike. Philo knew this would be an easy victory, just as he had predicted. The humans had no chance against their overwhelming technology. But just as the fleet prepared to engage, something unexpected happened. A strange signal began to broadcast across every communication channel in the galaxy, cutting through the alien fleet's sophisticated networks. The message was simple, yet it carried an air of chilling certainty. "We are waiting for you." Stylo's laughter died in his throat as the words echoed in his ship's command center. He couldn't believe it. He had been expecting a plea for mercy, or perhaps an attempt to negotiate. Instead, the humans had sent a warning, and not one of fear, but of readiness. They were not trembling in fear, they were waiting. For them. It was almost as if they had known the alien fleet would come. The message sent a wave of unease through the fleet. Kor looked at Silo, his expression unreadable. The crew in the command room exchanged uncertain glances, but Silo refused to be shaken. He had seen many species come and go, all of them offering empty threats before being crushed under the might of the Galactic Alliance. He wasn't about to let this message deter him. "It's nothing more than a bluff," Silo scoffed, his confidence returning. "These humans are desperate, trying to save face. They're afraid." But as he spoke, a knot of doubt began to form in his stomach. There was something unsettling about the way the message had been delivered. The humans weren't begging for their lives. They were calm, resolute. They were ready to face them. "Prepare the fleet," Silo said again, this time with more urgency. "We attack immediately." The ships surged forward, their weapons firing as they cut through the space between them and Earth. The countdown to invasion had begun, but as they neared the planet, Silo couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. This wasn't how invasions usually went. There was no panic on Earth, no scrambling for last-minute defenses. Instead, the humans seemed unbothered. In the distance, the first human warships emerged from behind the clouds of Earth's atmosphere, cloaked in stealth technology. They appeared out of nowhere, their advanced ships glowing with an eerie otherworldly light. Silo's eyes widened in disbelief. This was no ordinary planet. Earth had prepared. And the warning they had given wasn't a bluff. Before he could issue any orders, the human ships launched a sudden attack. Energy blasts tore through the alien fleet, destroying smaller ships in seconds. Silo gritted his teeth, fury building inside him. He hadn't expected this. But just as quickly as the attack had begun, the human ships vanished from sight, cloaked once more. The fleet was in disarray. Silo barked orders to his commanders, but their communications were muddled with interference. The humans' advanced technology was jamming their systems. "Report." Silo shouted, slamming his fist against the command table. A voice crackled over the comms, a bit too calm for Silo's liking. "Admiral, the human ships are using some kind of cloaking device. We can't track them." Silo's heart sank. This wasn't going according to plan. The humans were better prepared than they had anticipated. "Get the fleet into formation," Silo commanded, his mind racing. "We won't be caught off guard again. Prepare for an orbital bombardment. We'll destroy their cities from above." But as the alien fleet reorganized, the unexpected happened. One of the human ships, larger and more imposing than the rest, appeared on the screen. This one didn't cloak. Instead, it sent a simple message, one that made Silo's blood run cold. 12 hours until Earth's retaliation. The countdown appeared on the screen, a clear and deliberate threat. This was no longer just a warning. The humans were preparing for something far worse. The message was chilling, but what was even more unsettling was the calmness with which it was delivered. Earth wasn't cowering. It wasn't afraid. It was ready to fight. And now, Silo realized he had made a grave mistake. This would not be the easy victory he had imagined. The fleet was on edge as the countdown continued to tick down. Every passing second was a reminder that the humans weren't just talking. They were preparing for war. And in 12 hours, they would strike back with a force unlike anything the Galactic Alliance had ever seen. Silo paced the command room, his mind racing. He had underestimated the humans, but now there was no turning back. His fleet had crossed the point of no return. And as the countdown clock steadily moved toward zero, Hylam knew that the battle for Earth had only just begun. The question now was whether the Galactic Alliance's might would be enough to defeat the humans, or whether Earth would prove to be the greatest challenge they had ever faced. As the final seconds of the countdown ticked away, one thought echoed through Silo's mind. Earth was waiting for them. And they were ready. The silence of space was shattered as the alien fleet surged toward Earth. A massive armada of ships, some the size of small moons, broke through the depths of the galaxy, their engines roaring in the cold expanse. Their mission was simple: conquer Earth and claim it as their own. Earth, a small planet tucked away in the far reaches of the galaxy, was an easy target, or so the Galactic Alliance thought. The invaders had no idea what they were about to face. Earth, with its primitive technologies and supposed lack of advanced warfare, had been underestimated. The alien ships, with their sleek designs and powerful weapons, made their way through space with terrifying speed. But the closer they got to Earth, the more something felt wrong. As the first of the alien ships crossed the threshold of Earth's orbit, they were met with a shocking surprise. The alien fleet was not alone. Suddenly, several cloaked ships appeared, their outlines barely visible against the backdrop of the stars. They were human warships, powered by advanced cloaking devices. Earth's greatest defense had come to life. The alien fleet's sensors scrambled as their ships struggled to detect the invisible human vessels. They had no idea where the attack was coming from. The cloaked human ships were everywhere, slipping in and out of sight with ease, their presence undetected by the alien sensors. Before the aliens could react, Earth's automated defense systems kicked in. High-tech laser beams fired from hidden positions in space, cutting through the alien ships with deadly precision. The beams moved faster than the eye could see, instantly targeting and destroying ships before the invaders even realized they were under attack. It was as if Earth had been waiting for them, and the alien fleet had walked straight into a trap. The Galactic Alliance's ships, once confident in their superiority, now found themselves vulnerable and exposed. The sheer speed and precision of the human defenses caught them off guard. The alien vessels began to break apart under the relentless barrage. Explosions erupted across the sky as the alien ships were torn apart in a hail of lasers. The flash of destruction lit up the dark expanse, and the battle raged on in complete silence, a deadly dance of death among the stars. Inside the command centers of the alien ships, panic began to set in. The fleet had prepared for everything, but not this. They had never encountered such advanced technology before. The laser beams, coming from seemingly nowhere, tore through their shields and struck at the heart of their ships. The humans had somehow perfected a weapon that could slice through even the strongest armor. The commanders of the alien fleet barked orders, but there was nothing they could do. The fight was not going according to plan. On the human side, everything was calm. The commanders in charge of the cloaked warships were cool-headed, guiding their ships through the chaos with tactical brilliance. Every move was calculated, every shot precise. The human fleet was a well-oiled machine, and the alien invaders were caught completely off guard. It was almost as if Earth had been preparing for this moment for centuries. And now, it was time to strike back. The alien fleet's largest warship, a massive, imposing vessel that was considered invincible by its crew, was the first to fall. A series of laser beams pierced its hull, and the ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The explosion sent shockwaves through the remaining alien fleet, and the morale of the invaders began to crumble. As the battle continued, the skies above Earth became a battleground, filled with flashing lights and the chaos of war. The cloaked human ships darted in and out of the alien fleet, picking off targets one by one. The humans were relentless, their technological superiority on full display as they decimated the alien invaders. On the alien ships, the panic was growing. Their communications were jamming, their shields failing, and their weapon systems were ineffective against the advanced human tech. The once confident fleet was now in full retreat, their ships scrambling to regroup. The invaders had underestimated the humans, and now they were paying the price. The alien commanders realized they were facing something they had never experienced before, a planet that wasn't just a target, but a force to be reckoned with. The humans weren't scared, nor were they fighting blindly. They were organized, prepared, and most of all, they were proving that they weren't just a primitive species. They were an underdog with nothing to lose, and they were willing to fight to the death. As the retreat began, the alien fleet launched an emergency distress signal, attempting to communicate with their higher-ups in the Galactic Alliance. But the damage had already been done. The humans had proven that Earth wasn't the helpless, defenseless planet the aliens had assumed it was. Earth had turned the tables, and now, the aliens were forced to reconsider everything they thought they knew about humanity. The sky above Earth was filled with debris, the wreckage of alien ships floating aimlessly in the void. The human warships continued their silent assault, moving quickly and efficiently. They showed no mercy, only determination. For every alien ship that fell, the humans grew bolder, more confident. They were not going to let their planet fall without a fight. The alien fleet, now severely damaged and broken, retreated back into deep space, nursing their wounds and licking their pride. They had underestimated Earth, and now they would have to regroup and rethink their strategy. Earth had sent a clear message. Humanity would not go down without a fight. As the remaining alien ships fled into the depths of space, a final message was sent from the Galactic Alliance's flagship, a signal that Earth's defense systems were impressive, far beyond what they had expected. They had been defeated, and now, they would study Earth's technology in hopes of gaining an advantage the next time they came. But for now, Earth had won. The battle was over, and humanity had made its mark. The first clash had been nothing short of a victory, one that would echo throughout the galaxy for years to come. As Earth's defenses returned to a state of calm, the planet's inhabitants looked to the sky with a new sense of pride and unity. The message was clear. The humans had given the aliens one warning, and they were ready to defend their home. The battle might have been over, but the war was far from won. And as the human ships returned to their base, they couldn't help but wonder what the Galactic Alliance would do next. Would they return with a vengeance, or had Earth's victory sent a message too powerful to ignore? Only time would tell. As the alien fleet retreated into the vastness of space, the world watched in awe. The humans had pulled off an incredible victory, one that defied all expectations. But this victory didn't come out of nowhere. It was the result of years of preparation, secrecy, and sheer human determination. The world had been preparing for this moment long before the alien invaders even made their move. On the human side, everything was calm. The commanders in charge of the cloaked warships were cool-headed, guiding their ships through the chaos with tactical brilliance. Every move was calculated, every shot precise. The human fleet was a well-oiled machine, and the alien invaders were caught completely off guard. It was almost as if Earth had been preparing for this moment for centuries. And now, it was time to strike back. The alien fleet's largest warship, a massive, imposing vessel that was considered invincible by its crew, was the first to fall. A series of laser beams pierced its hull, and the ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The explosion sent shockwaves through the remaining alien fleet, and the morale of the invaders began to crumble. As the battle continued, the skies above Earth became a battleground, filled with flashing lights and the chaos of war. The cloaked human ships darted in and out of the alien fleet, picking off targets one by one. The humans were relentless, their technological superiority on full display as they decimated the alien invaders. On the alien ships, the panic was growing. Their communications were jamming, their shields failing, and their weapon systems were ineffective against the advanced human tech. The once confident fleet was now in full retreat, their ships scrambling to regroup. The invaders had underestimated the humans, and now they were paying the price. The alien commanders realized they were facing something they had never experienced before, a planet that wasn't just a target, but a force to be reckoned with. The humans weren't scared, nor were they fighting blindly. They were organized, prepared, and most of all, they were proving that they weren't just a primitive species. They were an underdog with nothing to lose, and they were willing to fight to the death. As the retreat began, the alien fleet launched an emergency distress signal, attempting to communicate with their higher-ups in the Galactic Alliance. But the damage had already been done. The humans had proven that Earth wasn't the helpless, defenseless planet the aliens had assumed it was. Earth had turned the tables, and now, the aliens were forced to reconsider everything they thought they knew about humanity. The sky above Earth was filled with debris, the wreckage of alien ships floating aimlessly in the void. The human warships continued their silent assault, moving quickly and efficiently. They showed no mercy, only determination. For every alien ship that fell, the humans grew bolder, more confident. They were not going to let their planet fall without a fight. The alien fleet, now severely damaged and broken, retreated back into deep space, nursing their wounds and licking their pride. They had underestimated Earth, and now they would have to regroup and rethink their strategy. Earth had sent a clear message. Humanity would not go down without a fight. As the remaining alien ships fled into the depths of space, a final message was sent from the Galactic Alliance's flagship, a signal that Earth's defense systems were impressive, far beyond what they had expected. They had been defeated, and now they would study Earth's technology in hopes of gaining an advantage the next time they came. But for now, Earth had won. The battle was over, and humanity had made its mark. The first clash had been nothing short of a victory, one that would echo throughout the galaxy for years to come. As Earth's defenses returned to a state of calm, the planet's inhabitants looked to the sky with a new sense of pride and unity. The message was clear. The humans had given the aliens one warning, and they were ready to defend their home. The battle might have been over, but the war was far from won. And as the human ships returned to their base, they couldn't help but wonder what the Galactic Alliance would do next. Would they return with a vengeance, or had Earth's victory sent a message too powerful to ignore? Only time would tell. As the alien fleet retreated into the vastness of space, the world watched in awe. The humans had pulled off an incredible victory, one that defied all expectations. But this victory didn't come out of nowhere. It was the result of years of preparation, secrecy, and sheer human determination. The world had been preparing for this moment long before the alien invaders even made their move. Flashbacks to Earth's secret project revealed a story that few knew. After decades of alien sightings and close encounters, governments across the globe put aside their differences and formed a united front. Earth's leaders realized that the survival of the human race depended on a single unified defense system. The humans were not just facing one alien race. They were facing an entire galaxy of advanced civilizations that saw Earth as nothing more than a weak, vulnerable planet. But what the invaders didn't know was that Earth had been preparing in ways they couldn't have imagined. The secret project, codenamed Project Phoenix, brought together the brightest minds from every corner of the planet. Scientists, engineers, and military strategists worked in complete secrecy, developing technologies that would change the course of human history. For years, they had been reverse engineering alien technology they had recovered from previous encounters, an effort that had started long before the Galactic Alliance even knew Earth existed. The humans had studied every scrap of alien technology they could get their hands on, breaking it down and learning its secrets. This allowed them to develop their own advanced weaponry, including cloaking devices that could render their ships invisible to alien sensors. They had also created AI-assisted combat strategies that would help them predict and counter the enemy's moves with incredible precision. But perhaps the most impressive achievement was the development of powerful robotic soldiers, capable of engaging the enemy in close-quarters combat, taking the brunt of the fight while the human soldiers directed the battle from afar. While the Galactic Alliance's ships were technologically superior, humanity's ingenuity and ability to adapt turned the tide. Despite being outnumbered, the humans had managed to turn their disadvantage into an advantage. The aliens' predictable strategies were no match for the humans' ability to think outside the box. The alien fleet was used to battling civilizations that followed the same strategies. Humans, however, had no intention of playing by those rules. The humans had something that the aliens couldn't even comprehend: the will to survive. The human spirit, driven by the desire to protect their home, made them unpredictable and difficult to defeat. They used every resource they had, from the most advanced technology to the raw determination of their soldiers. Earth's battle was not just a fight for survival, it was a fight for their future, a fight to show that humanity would not be enslaved or wiped out. Amidst all this, one figure stood out. Captain Bonner, the leader of Earth's forces, was a man who commanded respect and admiration from his troops. His leadership was not just about strategy and tactics. It was about inspiring those around him. Bonner was a man who believed in humanity, and he conveyed that belief to every soldier who stood by him. The story of Bonner's leadership was one that would be passed down for generations. Before the battle began, as the human forces prepared for what seemed like an impossible fight, Bonner gathered his soldiers. The tension in the air was palpable, but Bonner stood tall, his voice steady and filled with confidence. Today, Bonner began, we fight not just for ourselves, but for every person on this planet. We fight for our families, our friends, and our future. The aliens believe we are weak, that we are insignificant, but they are wrong. We are the children of Earth, and we will not bow down to anyone. Our future depends on what we do today, and we will not fail. His words were simple, yet powerful. They resonated with every soldier, every technician, and every civilian who had rallied behind the fight. Bonner's belief in humanity's strength became their belief. In that moment, they were no longer just a group of individuals. They were a united force, ready to do whatever it took to protect their home. As the speech ended, the soldiers stood taller, their spirits lifted. They knew the battle ahead would be tough, and the odds were against them. But in their hearts, they knew they had the strength to win. They had something the aliens could never understand: the power of determination, the will to fight, and the unbreakable bond of unity. Bonner was beloved by his troops not just because of his tactical brilliance, but because of his loyalty to them. He wasn't just their commander, he was one of them. His leadership was about more than just giving orders. It was about understanding the struggles of his people and leading them through adversity. This connection he shared with his soldiers formed the emotional core of the fight. The human forces weren't just fighting to defend their planet. They were fighting to honor the memory of those who had fallen and to ensure a future for the generations yet to come. As the battle unfolded, Captain Bonner led from the front. He was not a man who would sit back and give orders from a command center. He was right there on the front lines, coordinating the movements of his soldiers, offering guidance and inspiring his men and women to push forward. His presence gave them strength, and they fought harder because of it. The human forces fought with everything they had. They used every piece of technology they had developed, and they fought with a fierce, unyielding spirit. Bonner's leadership set the tone for the battle. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, the humans held their ground. Every enemy ship that fell, every robotic soldier that crushed an alien invader, was a testament to humanity's will to survive. As the battle raged on, Bonner's voice echoed over the comms, guiding his troops, giving them hope, and reminding them of the stakes. The battle wasn't just a military operation. It was a battle for the very soul of humanity. And no matter how advanced the alien forces were, they couldn't understand what drove humanity to fight. They couldn't understand the passion, the love, and the strength that burned inside every human heart. The aliens may have had superior technology, but they didn't have the heart of a human being. They didn't have the will to survive that was instilled in every human from birth. The aliens might have come with vast fleets and powerful weapons, but they hadn't accounted for the strength of the human spirit. And that was the strength that would win the battle. As Earth's forces pressed on, the alien fleet began to crumble. The invaders were not just losing their ships, they were losing their will to fight. Bonner's leadership, the human spirit, and the power of Earth's technology had turned the tide. Humanity had revealed its strength to the galaxy, and the invaders would never forget it. The underdog had become the victor, and Earth's future was secure, at least for now. For the soldiers under Bonner's command, it was more than just a victory. It was the beginning of a new era. The humans had proved that no matter how advanced the enemy, no matter how powerful their technology, Earth would never be an easy target. And as the dust settled, and the alien fleet retreated, Bonner's words still echoed in the hearts of every soldier who had fought that day. Earth had shown the galaxy that humanity would never back down, and that was a message that would reverberate throughout the universe for generations to come. After their initial defeat, the alien forces were not about to back down. They'd regrouped quickly, their advanced commanders and AI systems working in tandem to formulate a new strategy. They had underestimated Earth's preparedness, but now they were determined to correct their mistakes. This was no longer a simple invasion. It was a full-scale war, and the aliens were willing to use everything in their arsenal to break humanity's defenses. The alien fleet began to deploy its most advanced warships, massive, intimidating vessels that dwarfed Earth's ships. These were ships designed for annihilation, equipped with the most advanced weapons and defense systems the galaxy had to offer. Alongside these warships, eye-controlled drones were sent in waves, designed to overwhelm Earth's defenses. These drones were capable of extreme precision, and their sheer numbers would be a formidable force. The aliens were going all in. But the humans had prepared for this. Earth's forces had been through years of training and preparation, and they were not about to let their planet fall. The first wave of the alien attack met with fierce resistance. Earth's stealth ships moved like shadows, their cloaking technology rendering them invisible to the enemy. These ships, with their eye-assisted combat strategies, were able to sabotage the alien warships before the invaders even realized they were under attack. The destruction of the first wave of alien vessels sent a powerful message. The humans were not helpless. They were ready for war. On the ground, the battle raged just as fiercely. Alien robotic soldiers, designed for precision and power, clashed with humanity's forces in brutal hand-to-hand combat. Earth's soldiers, equipped with advanced combat suits and weapons of their own, fought fiercely, using every tactic they had learned to counter the aliens' robotic prowess. The aliens' advanced technology was formidable, but humanity's adaptability made them a dangerous adversary. The humans fought with everything they had, using their environment to their advantage, and turning the tide in their favor. But the aliens were relentless. Wave after wave of attacks came, pushing the human forces to their limits. The battle was no longer just about technology. It was about survival. The stakes were higher than ever, and the humans were determined to hold their ground. Bonner, the heart and soul of the human forces, led his troops with unwavering determination. His leadership and tactical brilliance were the guiding forces behind their fight. As the battle escalated, a new phase of the conflict began. The humans had to take the fight to the heart of the alien invasion. Their flagship. The alien flagship was a massive, imposing vessel surrounded by layers of advanced defenses and swarming with AI-controlled drones. It was the key to the aliens' power, and if the humans could take it down, they would deal a crippling blow to the entire invasion force. Bonner and his team, along with a select group of elite soldiers, infiltrated the alien flagship. Their mission was clear: sabotage the ship from the inside and take down the alien command center. It would be dangerous, and the risks were immense, but Bonner knew it was the only way to end the invasion once and for all. The team moved swiftly through the dark, metallic halls of the alien ship, their weapons ready, their senses sharp. Every corner could hide an enemy, and every door could open to a new danger. But Bonner's leadership kept them focused. The deeper they moved into the ship, the more intense the battle became. The alien forces fought back fiercely, but the humans pressed on. In the heart of the ship, Bonner and his team found themselves face to face with a group of elite alien officers. These were the aliens' best soldiers, and they were prepared to do whatever it took to stop the humans. What followed was a brutal clash of wills, a fight that would test the very limits of human endurance. Bonner, with his sharp instincts and unparalleled combat skills, was at the center of the melee. His fists moved with deadly precision as he took on the alien officers one by one. The sound of metal clashing against metal filled the air, accompanied by the hum of energy weapons and the heavy thud of bodies hitting the ground. Bonner's face was a mask of determination, his eyes focused on the mission. There was no time for hesitation, no room for fear. He fought like a man with everything to lose. In one intense moment, Bonner found himself face to face with an alien officer, a towering figure with a glowing energy blade. The alien swung its weapon with terrifying speed, but Bonner was faster. With a swift movement, he disarmed the officer and took it down in a flash of sparks. As the alien officer crumpled to the ground, Bonner's team pushed forward, their resolve stronger than ever. They knew that this battle could decide the fate of Earth, and they would not let the aliens win. The fight on the flagship was relentless. Every room was a battleground, every hallway a deadly maze of combat. Bonner's team continued to fight with unwavering resolve, and their hard work began to pay off. They had taken down key alien defenses and crippled the flagship's power systems. The aliens, despite their superior technology, were being overwhelmed. They hadn't anticipated this level of human determination. However, victory came at a heavy cost. As the human forces neared the heart of the flagship, Bonner's team found themselves trapped in a final confrontation with the alien commanders. The alien officers, seeing their ship's systems failing, made a last-ditch attempt to stop the humans. Bonner knew that this was their final chance to end the battle once and for all. With the remaining members of his team struggling to hold off the alien forces, Bonner made a decision. It was a decision that would cost him his life, but he knew it was the only way to ensure humanity's victory. He ordered his team to escape while he stayed behind to hold off the alien forces. The moment was heartbreaking, yet heroic. Bonner, in his final act, fought with every ounce of his strength, holding off the enemy long enough for his team to reach safety. His sacrifice was immense, but it was not in vain. As the team escaped, Bonner's voice rang out over the comms one last time. This is for Earth. Bonner's death became the rallying cry for humanity. It wasn't just a loss. It was a spark that would ignite the fires of determination in every soldier who had fought alongside him. The message was clear. They would never give up, no matter the cost. Back on Earth, Bonner's sacrifice did not go unnoticed. His name became a symbol of hope and resistance. The humans, fueled by his legacy, rallied together like never before. The battle was not over, but the spirit of humanity had been ignited. The aliens had underestimated Earth, and now they would face the full force of human will. As the human forces continued to push back, they knew that the fight for Earth was far from over, but they were ready for whatever came next. The Galactic Alliance had always viewed Earth as an insignificant planet, just another tiny speck in the vast expanse of the galaxy. For centuries, the Alliance had conquered and absorbed countless worlds, each one falling in line with their vision of technological and AI-driven supremacy. Earth, with its primitive technology and chaotic politics, was not even worth noticing. That is, until the invasion. Now, after the devastating defeat of their first invasion fleet, the Galactic Alliance's leadership received a chilling report from their intelligence officers. Earth's technology was evolving at an alarming rate, faster than anything the Alliance had ever anticipated. The humans, it seemed, had adapted the alien tech they had encountered, reverse engineering it with an efficiency that was nothing short of terrifying. But it wasn't just the alien tech they were learning from. They were unlocking new abilities of their own. The aliens had always thought that they had a monopoly on technology, that their AI and advanced systems were unbeatable. Yet the humans were quickly catching up, developing technology that was not only equivalent to theirs, but in some cases, even more powerful. The Galactic Alliance's leaders began to realize that they had made a grave mistake. The humans were not the weaklings they had once believed them to be. Earth was rapidly becoming a technological powerhouse, and it was clear that the Galactic Alliance had no way to stop them without risking total annihilation. As the human fleet emerged from Earth's atmosphere, the alien commanders watched in shock. There was no mistaking what they were seeing. A fleet of human warships, each one equipped with advanced AI-driven technology, cloaking devices that made the ships invisible to the naked eye, and energy shields strong enough to deflect even the most powerful alien weapons. The humans had far exceeded the expectations of the Galactic Alliance, and their rapid advancement had turned the tides of the war in their favor. The alien strategy of relying on their technological superiority was no longer effective. The humans had caught up, and they had done so in record time. The human fleet advanced with confidence, its warships moving in perfect formation. It was a stunning display of technological achievement. The ships, once thought to be obsolete by galactic standards, now seemed like the very cutting edge of warfare. AI-controlled drones flew alongside the ships, acting as sentinels, scanning the enemy fleet and relaying critical information in real time. The energy shields shimmered with an almost otherworldly glow, and the cloaking devices ensured that the humans remained virtually undetectable until it was too late for the enemy to react. The alien commanders, realizing the full extent of the humans' progress, began to panic. What they had initially dismissed as a simple, primitive world was now a formidable force in its own right. The technology that Earth had acquired was not just an equal match to their own. It was a potential game-changer. The humans were now capable of fighting back with a strength that the Galactic Alliance had never considered. The Alliance had underestimated Earth, and now they were facing the consequences. The report that came to the Galactic commanders painted a grim picture. Earth's warships had been seen not only dismantling alien ships with uncanny precision, but also launching devastating counterattacks using weapons the aliens had never encountered before. Their AI systems were evolving, adapting to each new challenge with lightning speed. And perhaps most frightening of all, humanity's ability to innovate and adapt had given them a unique edge. The ability to think beyond the boundaries of what technology was supposed to allow. The Galactic Alliance's own AI systems were beginning to show signs of malfunction, unable to keep up with the ever-evolving strategies of the humans. In the midst of this growing tension, a sense of dread began to settle over the alien commanders. The war they had thought would be an easy victory was slipping through their fingers. The humans had turned their technological disadvantage into their greatest strength. Now, Earth stood as the last bastion of freedom in the galaxy, a beacon of resistance against the AI-driven tyranny the Galactic Alliance sought to impose on every corner of the universe. For the first time, the alien leaders truly understood the gravity of the situation. They had come to Earth expecting an easy conquest. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant. The humans, it seemed, had always been more resourceful, more determined, and more capable than they had given them credit for. The war was no longer about raw strength or technology. It was about survival, and humanity was willing to do whatever it took to protect itself. The visual of the human fleet standing strong in the face of the alien onslaught was a striking one. The alien ships, with their massive, intimidating hulls and superior weaponry, looked fragile in comparison. The human ships, though smaller and less imposing in size, carried a silent strength with them. They moved with purpose, their cloaking devices rendering them invisible to the alien forces until they struck with deadly force. Each battle won by humanity was another step toward victory, another blow to the arrogance of the Galactic Alliance. As the war continued, the stakes grew higher. The aliens, seeing their technological superiority fading, knew they could no longer rely solely on their advanced weapons and AI. They would have to face humanity's ingenuity head-on, and that terrified them. The humans were not simply fighting for survival, they were fighting for their future, and they would not back down. In this battle between the forces of good and evil, humanity stood as the last hope. The Galactic Alliance, with its cold, calculating AI-driven ambition, represented the darkest aspects of technological domination. But humanity, with its flawed yet unwavering spirit, had risen to challenge them. The humans' fight was not just for their own survival, it was for the survival of all sentient beings who valued freedom, creativity, and the ability to shape their own destiny. The war had become a defining struggle of the age. AI-driven tyranny versus human resilience. The aliens had underestimated Earth's potential, but they had learned their lesson too late. Humanity was not just fighting to protect itself, it was fighting for the very soul of the universe. And as long as Earth's will to survive burned bright, the aliens would face an enemy they could never fully comprehend. As the battle raged on, it was clear that humanity's fight for freedom was just beginning. The Galactic Alliance's attempt to conquer Earth had failed, but the war was far from over. The humans had only just begun to reveal the full extent of their power, and the aliens would have to prepare for a war unlike any they had ever known. The tides of war were shifting, and humanity, with all its ingenuity and determination, was leading the charge. After months of fierce battles and countless sacrifices, the time had finally come for humanity to deliver the final blow to the Galactic Alliance. The human fleet, now fully equipped with the most advanced technology they had developed and adapted from their alien adversaries, had one goal in mind: to strike at the heart of the Galactic Alliance's stronghold. It was a mission that seemed impossible at first, but humanity had proven time and again that it was capable of the unimaginable. The final showdown would be the culmination of everything humanity had fought for: their future, their freedom, and their very survival. The human fleet gathered, its ships cloaked and ready to infiltrate the heavily guarded core of the Galactic Alliance's command structure. They had learned everything they needed to know about the alien stronghold's defenses, and now they were prepared to face the ultimate test. No longer would Earth be the underdog in this war. No longer would they be seen as insignificant. This was their moment to show the universe the true power of human resolve. As the fleet moved in, their warships glided through space, almost invisible to the naked eye. The cloaking devices were flawless, rendering them undetectable to the alien forces who had thought themselves untouchable. But humanity had learned the lessons of the past, and they were ready to strike when the time was right. The aliens had underestimated Earth, believing that their superior technology and AI-driven forces would easily crush any resistance. But now, as the human fleet approached the heart of the Galactic Alliance's power, it was clear that the tables had turned. The human ships, though smaller and less imposing than the massive alien warships, had the advantage of surprise, speed, and the element of stealth. The alien commanders, who had once looked down upon Earth as a primitive and insignificant planet, now found themselves facing an enemy that was anything but weak. The humans had come prepared, their ships equipped with cloaking technology, powerful laser weapons, and energy shields that could withstand even the most intense attacks. It was a deadly combination, and the aliens were about to feel the full force of it. As the human fleet infiltrated the heart of the Galactic Alliance's stronghold, the battle raged on. The enemy flagship, a massive vessel that had long been the symbol of the Galactic Alliance's power, was now under siege. Explosions ripped through the alien ship's hull as human warships launched precision strikes against key points, disabling the flagship's weapons and communication systems. The human forces worked with incredible coordination, their AI-driven strategies allowing them to anticipate and counter every move the aliens made. In the midst of the chaos, human ground forces engaged in a brutal battle against the remaining alien soldiers. They fought their way through the flagship, taking down alien officers and advancing toward the heart of the ship. The tension was palpable as soldiers fought side by side, pushing forward with determination, knowing that the fate of Earth rested on their success. Captain Bonner, the leader of the human forces, led the charge, his courage and leadership inspiring his men to fight harder than ever before. The battle was intense, and the stakes had never been higher. But as the human forces pressed on, they made their way deeper into the flagship, eventually reaching the control center, the nerve center of the entire Galactic Alliance. Here, in the heart of the enemy's power, the final strike would take place. The human forces had already delivered devastating blows to the alien fleet, but this would be the moment that sealed their victory. The control center, heavily fortified and guarded by the Alliance's best troops, was no easy target. But humanity was undeterred. The human forces, fueled by the desire to protect their home and their future, fought with unparalleled ferocity. Explosions shook the ship as they breached the control center, and the final confrontation began. Captain Bonner, who had led his forces with unwavering resolve throughout the war, now faced the ultimate decision. The heart of the enemy's command structure was just within reach, but the cost of success would be high. In a final heroic act of bravery, Bonner made the ultimate sacrifice. He stayed behind to hold off the alien forces long enough for his team to disable the control center and secure the ship's destruction. His last words, shouted in defiance, echoed through the halls of the flagship. "This is for Earth." With Bonner's sacrifice, the control center was disabled, and the human forces were able to complete their mission. The flagship, once the symbol of the Galactic Alliance's dominance, was now a burning wreck in space. The alien leadership, who had once believed themselves invincible, could only watch in horror as their power crumbled. The humans had proven that they were not to be underestimated. As the human fleet emerged victorious, they sent one final message to the Galactic Alliance. It was simple, but powerful. "We gave you a chance. This is our world now." The message reverberated across the galaxy, and the alien forces, broken and defeated, were forced to retreat. The Galactic Alliance, once so certain of their dominance, now realized that they could never again underestimate the power of humanity. The final victory was a turning point in the history of the galaxy. The Galactic Alliance had thought they could easily crush Earth and expand their empire, but instead they had awakened a force that would never bow down. Humanity, the so-called underdog, had stood tall in the face of overwhelming odds, and they had emerged victorious. The aliens had learned a valuable lesson. Humanity would not be easily conquered. The war was over, but the scars would remain. Earth had been forever changed by the conflict, and the human race had proven to itself and the galaxy that it was a force to be reckoned with. The Galactic Alliance, once a symbol of power and control, had been defeated by the very species they had dismissed as weak and insignificant. As the human fleet returned to Earth, the people of the planet stood united, celebrating their hard-earned victory. They had shown the universe that no matter how overwhelming the odds, no matter how advanced the enemy, the spirit of humanity would always prevail. The message was clear. Earth was no longer a place to be ignored or underestimated. Humanity had risen to defend its world, and it had done so with strength, courage, and a determination that no enemy could ever match. In the end, Earth had triumphed, not just against the aliens, but against the very notion that any species could dominate or control another. The Galactic Alliance had underestimated humanity's potential, and now they would never make that mistake again. The galaxy had learned that humanity was not a planet to be toyed with, and that was the greatest victory of all. The story of Earth's triumph would be told for generations, a reminder to all that the power of the human spirit could overcome even the greatest of challenges. The Galactic Alliance, now retreating in fear, knew they could never return to Earth. The human race had made its mark on the galaxy, and there would be no going back. Humanity had proven its strength, and the galaxy would never forget that Earth had given the ultimate warning. We are waiting for you.